I am living, breathing proof that all it takes is a few months to change your life with sales. All it takes is one solid offer, one solid sales gig, and next thing you know, you're making more money than you ever imagined you ever could. You're living the life you only dreamt about, and that becomes your reality. Am I saying that you're gonna do the same thing? No, there's no guarantees in life. If you want a safe, cushy guarantee, I suggest you go flip burgers at Burger King instead. They're always hiring. But I'm here, sitting here on a Sunday afternoon here at a beach club here in Dubai, and it's just a funny thing because not that long ago, a few years ago, I was homeless in a drug shelter. And I'm just fucking with you. We're not gonna do the whole fucking rags and riches story. It's not like I was dirt poor. It's not like my parents are dirt poor either, right? And I'm really appreciative. I had a roof over my head. Very middle class, right? But I also didn't have all the fucking money in the world. I wanted to live in a nice crib. I wanted to be at a beach club like this. I wanted to be on a yacht. I wanted to travel around the world. I wanted to be an attractive woman. In a reality where, again, I wasn't homeless. I wasn't like, around like drug addicts or shit like that. But I just wasn't completely happy with where I was, right? And all it took was one decision, really one solid offer, like I said. So let me take you back, right? I saw these kids on Instagram back then while I was in my shoebox apartment. I see these kids living the life that I wanted to live. They're out in Miami, they're out in Greece, they're on a yacht, they're around other women, they're whatever. And I looked at them, I was like, man, they don't look any smarter than me. In fact, they look borderline retarded. Like, they're not any better than me, right? As a human being. And so, like, why am I here? Why are they there? And that pain for not having all the things I wanted lit a fire under my ass. And that was really the fuel that propelled me. So when I first got into sales, I was lucky enough. Back then, it's not like I was making bad money. I was making like okay money, right? But again, not enough money to live the life that I wanted. And I saw people in sales making good money, like 10K, 20K, 30K a month, sometimes more. I was like, and they're doing it from anywhere in the world. I want to be able to do that. And so I got on my first ever sales gig through a buddy, and he hooked me up with the interview. And because he put in a good word for me, I was able to get in that offer. Now, it's not like that offer or sales gig was the best one out there. No. But there were people that are making 6 figures a year. There were people, the top reps are making 10K, 15K a month around then at that point. And so I thought, I'm like, dude, like other motherfuckers are doing it. And so all I gotta do is go in there, work harder than everybody else. I don't know much about sales. I kind of know a little bit, but I'm not the most skilled salesperson. All I gotta do is fucking work hard and improve my skill set. And I know I have the fucking brain cells and the brain capacity to do it, right? And I know I can pay for mentorship and things like that to be able to do it too. That's exactly what I did. I went in there, to be fair, I thought I'll be pretty good at it because I'm like, oh, I can talk to people, I can do sales calls, and I get my ass kicked. Don't get me wrong, I did get lucky with my first deal though. It was either my first sales call or first few sales calls. I hopped on and the dude was a common A-type prospect, as you call it. The guy was making like 200 grand a year and I was selling a biz op, helping him start a marketing agency. It's like a passive income source, right? And I sold him the 25K package. I was just retarded and ballsy enough to just sell it at my first sales call. I was like, ah, fucking YOLO. This guy's making money, so let me just sell that. And the guy was asking me a ton of questions. He goes, what about this? What about that? And I was like, oh, it's this, it's that. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, okay, how do I pay? Debit or credit card works. It's like, okay. And then I remember the circle thing going on. The loading time to process the payment, oh my God, it felt the longest fucking time ever. It was like, I'm like, what's happening? I sold it over the phone, so I was like, what's gonna happen? And then it failed. I was like, fuck. It's like, oh, hey, it didn't go through. I was like, okay, try this card. I was like, okay. And then it went through. I remember, I tried to act cool and chill, but I remember hopping up the sales call. I was like, holy shit. I just made $2,000 in my pocket after a fucking phone call because I was getting 8% commission back. Because before, what I was doing was, I was in the military, obviously, and also I tried to start different online businesses, but as a business owner, you got to start so many fucking different things, right? Now, I know for a lot of people going into sales, eventually your goal is to start your own business, and my goal was too, but I remember trying to start a business, I got to do marketing, I got to do lead generation, I got to do sales and operations and fulfillment, all those kind of things. All I had to do was hop on the sales call, talk to these MFs, these motherfuckers, and money just came in. So at that moment, I was like, fuck, I was hooked. That was like, this crazy. But after that, I didn't close that many sales. It was just like a lucky deal. After that, I was like getting objection after objection. Let me think about it. Hey, we'll decide to go in a different direction, Let me talk to my partner. I knew I had to get some help, so I paid for sales training. And from there, it was all the money I had at the time. It was pretty much money I didn't have. It was the program was for $18,000. I got it through a payment plan. After I did the payment plan, dude, I had $500 left in my fucking bank account. But I was not scared or nervous. I just knew this was the next logical step. This is what I had to do to hit my goal. And so I did that. I started getting better. It was from 7th level, from Jeremy Miner and all those guys. And I got better. I became one of the worst reps on the team. At the time, I was number 23 number 23 out of 25 reps. And then a month or two later, I became one of the top reps. I was in the top 3. And I started climbing up. And at that moment was when I got a text on Facebook, on the Facebook Messenger. It's from Matt Ryder, at the time, the CEO of 7th Level. And he said, yo, dude, do you want to come sell for Sales Sniper? I was like, fuck. Me sell for Sales Sniper? Sales Sniper back then was the largest sales agency at the time. I was like, fuck. Because they saw that I was hopping on the coaching code all the time. They saw that I was getting after it, getting better, and I was becoming one of the top reps. Yeah, dude. All right, bet. Let me put you in a group chat with Anthony. Anthony was back then, I think, the head of sales at Sales Sniper, who is now the senior vice president of 7 Level. Got a fucking plane flying on. But I was like, fuck, bet. I hop on an interview with Anthony, but it was basically, hey man, like which offer do you want? Okay, I want this one. I knew I was taking a pay cut, but I did it anyway because I knew it was, even if I made zero money, I just wanted to be around the best, the fucking best. I knew these guys were the fucking best. So I said yes, even though I was gonna take a pay cut, I was gonna be making less money because there's like less price point and things like that. And on that offer, on the first month, I became the top rep, and I'm trying to not get distracted, trying to focus on the video. We got distractions walking by. I became the top rep on that offer out of 4 reps. I was outselling the other 3 closers combined by myself. I just obsessed over how can I optimize my show-up rate, my close rate. And so my first month in sales, I made 2K. The next month I made like, again, number 2.2K. The month after that, I made 8.2, 8.4K a month. So fuck, already 6-figure run rate in the 3rd month. And that alone for me was life-changing. At Sales Sniper, I took a bit of a pay cut. I made like 7K a month, even though I got better sales because lower price point and whatnot. But you know, I was just excited, man. I was excited hopping on these calls, learning from the best, getting better like each day, getting better at this, learning shit and getting after it. I love the hustle and the grind. And then what happened was the marketing shit the bed overnight, boom. All of a sudden, we're just getting like a lot of broke leads, like some like homeless people, jobless people. Everybody's show rate and close rate halved overnight. But I never blamed on the marketing and the leads. I was like, fuck, I'm so frustrated because I can't close these leads. I gotta get better. And Anthony pulled me aside to a Zoom and he's like, yo, dude, it's not you, it's the marketing. We're trying to expand to the US market. It's not you, bro, it's fine. We'll take care of it. The marketing didn't get better. They never recovered. But Anthony eventually said, you know, hey dude, how do you feel about selling for 7th Level? And I said, 7th Level? Because back then that was my dream company. I never even imagined selling for 7th Level. Me selling for Jeremy Minor? Yeah, let's do it. And I was so fucking excited, and I went in. It's like, dude, it's like the all-star team of fucking salesmen. These guys were all previous, even the worst guy on the team were all top reps in the previous offer coming to this. Imagine, on the NBA all-star team, you got fucking Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James, all on the same fucking team, right? Even the guy on the bench is like, he could fucking smoke your ass. I was competing against them, and yeah, I was consistently top rep, hovering around number 1, number 2 on the leaderboard. I finished the year as one of the top reps. On my first month at 7th Level, I think I had 9K a month or 15K a month. I took my parents out to a lunch. That's a nice restaurant. And we took the taxi for the first time. Because before we'd always take the bus. Asian parents, if you know, they can be frugal, right? But I said, guys, like I got it. We took the taxi. They were super uncomfortable. We get to the restaurant, we eat the food. I pick up the bill. And as I hand over my card to the waitress, my parents' eyes were like, where'd you get the money from? In my mind, I said, well, it's the make money online thing I've been trying to tell you about that you said, you told me to go get a real job and go back to school, but I didn't try to explain it. It was pointless. That's another lesson is that if you have people, whether it be your parents or your friends or whoever, it's not like they're bad people, it's just in their reality, it's just hard to compute. So I found that the best way is just, we gotta show them instead of just trying to tell them. We gotta lead by example. Because until then, even to this day, my parents still, it's like, when are you go get a job? Like, you know, they still don't know what I do, even to this day. So anyways, and at that point, I actually went to Europe. I've always wanted to live in Europe, and the time zone's also better as well. So it's good. I was living in Europe. It's cool, traveling, seeing different things, seeing the world. And then at that point, I wanted to crank it up a notch. I was like, yo, like at that point, I was around 15 grand a month. How can I fucking get to 20? How can I get to 30? And I was keep getting better, but one of the biggest things that was also holding me back was also my time zone. Because man, if I sold in a normal time zone, like US selling to US leads, I knew that I was gonna be able to take more calls and my show rate was gonna increase, things like that, right? But in order for me to get to America, I'm not an American citizen, it was gonna be tough. Canada, so my answer was, okay, I see people going to Colombia, South America, so I went to Colombia. I know most people go to Colombia for BBLs, Big Booty Latinas, but I had no interest in that. All I give a fuck about was time zone and making more money and getting better, more specifically. I wasn't really concerned about the amount of money I was making because my living expenses were low. That was a good thing. My living expenses were low, but I was just so obsessed with how can I get better? How can I get better? So I went to Colombia, kept getting better, working on different things like urgent, different things like that. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, frustrating weeks, stressful, marketing not always like the same, right? But I hit my first 20K a month, I made 23K. Then I hit my first 30K a month, 36K a month. I was like, shit. And then eventually after that, I was like, man, where do I want to live? I bounced around different places. Eventually I came to Dubai. I got my apartment in Dubai. It's a 5-star hotel, which also has a residence side. And for that one bed apartment, it was about 6K USD a month. I paid the whole year's rent up front because this is how Dubai works. And it's been great, man. I mean, I've been able to save my parents money, send them present. Whenever I go back home, I leave them cash because if I try to send them money there, they're gonna get mad at me. Started dating more attractive women, call my heart broken, going through breakups, meet different women that were better than the ones before, very sweet. rinse and repeat, you know, get invited to places to speak about sales and business, shit like that. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster for sure. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not like sometimes I've had multiple times where I wanted to give up. I was like, fuck, is this even worth it? You know, a day full of like 10 calls back to back, talking to people all day. It's like fucking midnight, 2 a.m. my time. I was like, fuck, is this even worth it? Questioning myself. Did I make the right decision? What am I doing? Why couldn't I just take an easier path? But I mean, if I could go back and start something, it would still be sales. It would still be sales. I would not try to start a business because I tried to start different businesses. It was just too hard. I had to learn 2 different businesses. So I was just not the person capable of running a business. And so sales, all I had to do is grind it out, learn just one skill, which is sales. And it really did change my life in a complete trajectory. And here's the thing, right? You may not want to be in sales for the rest of your life, and I don't either. I just moved up, right? Now I'm a business owner, and I'm making more money than when I was a full-time sales rep. But as a gateway, it changed my fucking life. And really, I'm no different than you. In fact, English is my second language. I learned English, right? Just like anything, right? I come from a small country, South Korea. You know what I'm saying? I was introverted, I was socially anxious, I couldn't talk to people, I had no fucking confidence, I stuttered all the time, I couldn't talk to people. But eventually, the biggest lesson I learned is that I had a lot of pain, man. Again, it's not like I come from like the hood, it's not like I was homeless or jobless, it's not that I didn't have parents, but the pain of not having everything I wanted, the pain of not being the God, that fucking dude I wanted to become, I knew I could become, that fucking pain me, not having the women I wanted, not having the life I wanted, the crib, not being able to take care of the people I give a fuck about, that fucking pained me. And so I had a best friend when I was 21 years old, he was 20, he passed away when he was 20. He did not get to live more years than that. And so I knew that my life, my time on this planet was finite. We all hear that, but I saw firsthand. I saw my friend in a fucking glass jar in his ashes. And so ever since that moment, I told myself, we have one crack at this fucking thing. And so I'm gonna have the most epic, I'm gonna do dope shit. I'm gonna do with dope people in dope fucking places. And you know what? If it's gonna take a lot of pain, a lot of fucking risk, my bank account goes to fucking zero, I lose it all, fuck it. At least on my fucking deathbed, or when I'm in heaven, hell, wherever I am, I can look back at that fucking tape and be like, you know what? I gave it a fucking crack at it. I fucking went for it. And for that, even if I fail, even if I lose it all, even if I die, fuck it, man, I went for it. So that's all I'm gonna say. So let's get after it.